told your friend you're not okay.
Undeniable domination. BTS, Taehyung, and BTS rock the world with a historic concert series that is now a global media feature. If you think the world has seen something this big before, prepare to think again, because what's happening right now isn't just another concert. It's a moment that will be remembered throughout the history of the global music industry. BTS is no longer just a K-pop group printed on posters in teenage fans' bedrooms. It's now etched into the pantheon of global music legends, alongside the greatest artists to ever grace the world stage. And among the 7 stars that make up that extraordinary constellation, one name is shining with such dazzling intensity that the world can't look away: Kim Taehyung, better known to his tens of millions of fans as V. Since the world was rocked by the announcement of this historic concert series, international media outlets from all corners of the globe have been buzzing about it. Billboard, Rolling Stone, NME, Variety, The Guardian, CNN Entertainment all deployed their best teams of journalists. All featured this story on their front pages, all vying to be the first to tell the world just how profound an impact BTS and Kim Taehyung are having on the contemporary global pop culture landscape. This isn't hype created by a marketing machine. It's the organic response of a world watching history being rewritten before their eyes. Imagine this: the world's largest stadiums, venues that used to host the most legendary names in Western rock and pop history, are now filled with a wave of people hailing from every corner of the planet. They spoke different languages, wore the same colors, held army bomb-colored light sticks that glowed in the darkness, and sang Korean lyrics as loudly and soulfully as if the songs were born from the depths of their souls. It was a sight even music industry veterans who had witnessed the biggest tours throughout the decades would admit they had never seen anything quite like it before. Kim Taehyung stood on that stage as more than a performer. He was a natural phenomenon. Every movement of his body carried a narrative. Every look in his eyes conveyed thousands of unspoken words. Every note that escaped his throat transformed the atmosphere of a stadium holding hundreds of thousands of people into something deeply intimate, deeply personal, as if he were speaking directly to a single soul in the crowd. This was a talent that couldn't be learned from a textbook or practiced in front of a mirror. It was a charisma he was born with, a charisma that matured and deepened with each step under the spotlight. Music critics who once looked down on K-pop were now writing lengthy reviews filled with admiration and honest acclaim. They wrote about how Taehyung not only sings but also tells stories, how he not only dances but also touches, how his stage presence has a gravity all its own that draws all eyes, all cameras, all attention to him, even when the other 6 equally extraordinary BTS members are sharing the stage with him. A Rolling Stone critic even wrote that watching Taehyung perform live is an experience hard to describe, something that must be experienced to truly understand. And it's not just Taehyung who's rocking the world. BTS as a whole is a tireless machine of creativity and energy, a collective whose members each possess a depth of talent yet together create a synergy far beyond the sum of their individual parts. RM with his incredible lyrical wit, Jin with his golden voice that has now evolved to be even more powerful and expressive after his personal journey, Suga with the raw honesty in every bar he composes, J-Hope with the energy and precision that always invites admiration, Jimin with the grace and emotionality that flows like water, and Jungkook with vocalizations that are increasingly pushing the limits that he himself has previously set. Together with Taehyung, the 7 of them form an entity that is unmatched in the history of the modern entertainment industry. The numbers accompanying this historic tour speak for themselves with a clarity that requires no further interpretation. Tickets sold out within minutes of going on sale, setting new records that were instantly etched into the global ticketing history books. Streaming platforms exploded with a surge in traffic that overwhelmed even the world's most powerful technology servers. Trending topics on various social media platforms were completely dominated by names related to BTS for hours, even days, without pause. Hashtags born from these concert moments spread at a rate even social media analysts admit they've never seen before. ARMY, the name given to BTS's worldwide fan community, is more than just a fan base. They are a collective force, organized, passionate, and loyal beyond the usual boundaries between fan and artist. They are a global community that shares the same love language despite being born and raised on different continents, a community capable of moving the world simply by uniting their voices behind their respective mobile screens. When ARMY moves together, the result is a wave that no one can ignore, not even the mainstream media, the industry, or governments that are beginning to realize the immense soft power BTS brings to Korea's international standing. And amidst all the excitement, all the euphoria, all the visual and audio splendor of these historic concerts, there's something far deeper that makes the experience of watching BTS and Taehyung so unforgettable. There's sincerity. There's humanity. There are moments amidst the dazzling visual and technical perfectionism where you can see that these seven truly love what they do, truly grateful for every opportunity they've been given, truly touched by the love shown to them by millions. And that sincerity, a sincerity that can't be faked and can't be bought, is what most powerfully penetrates the screen, penetrates the thousands of stadium seats, and reaches straight to the heart. Meanwhile, those moments come in many forms. For some, it came when Taehyung sang a song with his eyes closed and his expression so profound that the entire stadium fell silent without warning, not because they weren't enthusiastic, but because they were so captivated that the sound of shouting seemed too harsh to be allowed to penetrate the sacred space being created between the singer and the tens of thousands of listeners. For others, it came when seven figures stood side by side at the edge of the stage, gazing out at the sea of ARMY bombs shining like a galaxy of stars descending to Earth, and one of them, with a slightly trembling voice, spoke words of gratitude that sounded so simple, yet carried the weight of years of emotion that could no longer be contained behind a professional smile. And as long as the world keeps turning, as long as there are people who need music to get through tough days, as long as there are souls seeking connection in their solitude, BTS and Kim Taehyung will continue to exist. Continue to create. Continue to shake things up. Continuing to prove that their dominance wasn't something that happened by chance, but something they built with their own hands, brick by brick, night after night, stage by stage, until it became a monument that will never be forgotten by anyone who has ever witnessed it. Thank you for sticking with us for every news, every moment, and every hottest update from the never-sleeping world of K-pop. This account isn't just here to inform you, but to celebrate together every achievement that makes us all proud to be part of this incredible community. Don't forget to follow, turn on notifications, and share with fellow fans who deserve the same energy. Because here, we don't just follow the news, we live the story.